Good morning, good morning. And yeah, happy Sunday. Wow, I never really jump on a Sunday, but today is a special day because it is the hashtag New Beginning 2020 24-hour live event put on by our homegirl Wasima over at Wasi Magic. And Lady Night is here, and Lady Night is actually one of our homies that's going to be in this 24-hour. October Skies is also here. It says, I wish I could be here today, but the in laws came to town and went to meet us now for dinner. I will watch it tomorrow. No problem. And Debbie, Snoop Debbie Deb is here as well. All right. So interesting. We got the morning sun coming in today. But well, I guess we will jump right into it. Tar Apple, what's up? I'm so excited. Like, hey, I was like, if we're gonna have a special event, I want to like go all out. So, I actually wore makeup for you guys. I did my hair. So, okay. So all of my notes, if I keep looking down, all of my notes are in my Hello Kitty journal, but this is where I put all of my spreads. And we're going to be doing a type of spread today. Yes, purple and unicorns. You dig? um, okay. So as you have, gotten from our list of, presenters today, which I will also put that list. Hold on. Let me pop out the chat here just in case I miss anybody. Ruchi, what's up? Um, okay, so I'm gonna click on here. I'm gonna turn off the sound so that way I don't hear myself double. Oh, thank you, October Sat. Oh, I keep wanting to call you Unashi, but October Skies. Yay, yay, yay! So lots of cool people coming in. I'm going to pop out this chat over here, and I'm going to minimize this. There you go, so that you get my old cat Presley and moi. Okay, so everybody had their own theme, and by the way, I think Stellar Rain Dancer is finishing up right now, and then we have another awesome presenter after me, but I will post the Facebook link with all the names of all the channels so that you can, if you don't get to make everybody today, obviously staying up for 24 hours is kind of cray cray. But that way you can go back and rewatch all of these live events. No problem, October Skies. I'm just gonna have to get used to October Skies, which is nice too. Okay, all right. So my topic was called is called New Journey Old Path, and I've been very vague on my channel about my topic because I wanted it to be kind of a surprise for you guys. So, all right. I hope you guys have a deck. I don't know, is that a silly question? Do you guys have a deck in front of you right now? So bust out a deck. I have brought a few faves. One of them being my Wally's World Oracle, which I'm gonna do a little plug. If you're interested, you can get this on my website, www.kittensweetsandtarot.com. You can get my Wally's World. Wally just walked by the way. I'm also gonna be using these two decks, the Affirmators Tarot and the Weird Cat, because I don't know, they kind of maybe go with my theme here. Okay, so new journey, old path. What does that actually mean? And ascension waves. So that means Wasima is here. Yay! Okay, so like I said, all of my notes are in here. Okay, I teach at a local high school. I have many jobs besides tarot reader extraordinaire. But we went through the hero's journey unit. They finished reading the Odyssey. I helped them with plot structure when it comes to stories, being able to understand stories, rising action, climax, how does that change the story, falling action. And then recently I listened to a few interviews from one of my favorite authors, Bryce Courtney, who wrote The Power of One, and as well as so many other bestsellers, April Fool's Day, so many other books. Power of One is one of my favorite books. So in his interview, it seemed like a lot of the interviewers attacked him for the characters in his stories. They didn't question, that his stories were awesome. Yes, I am an opera singer too, professional opera singer, and they said, okay, your stories are wonderful, everybody loves them, your characters are wonderful, but they said that, when he talks about his life, people have connected a lot of the characters to him, and they said that, do you think that maybe you exaggerate your life a little bit? Is there a lot of non-truths to your life? And so he started talking about, well, what does that mean, the truth, how one views their life? And they said, well, the naked truth. And he says, what's the naked truth? And he said, if two people watch a car accident and the police officer comes and asks each person what happened, you're going to get two different stories, because everybody colors their world differently because of their backgrounds, because of just how they view the world. It's going to be different. And he says, so if I say X, Y, and Z happened in my life, but somebody else, let's say his sister, for example, says, no, that's not how it happened. It happened this way. He says, then we're going to go around and around in circles with what is the truth. And he says his job as a writer is to clothe the naked truth. He says, I put it in beautiful clothes that people want to, they want to read the stories. They're invested in the stories. They feel like they could be part of the stories. He goes, that's my job as a writer. He says, so who really cares how I, see my world? Yes, this is why we each read each other differently. And so I thought that this would be a wonderful topic to connect, because as tarot readers, we all read differently, and that's awesome because you can get so many different perspectives, instead of having all these clones reading for people, reading the cards exactly the same way. That would get really boring after a while. That's why, some people feel more of a connection with one reader than another reader. And it's because we all have different personalities, we all read different ways. Yes, totally, instead of reading the same way. So I started thinking about, Bryce Courtney. They kept saying, oh, but the way you describe your life, maybe it's not 100% the truth. And he says, how I view my life, to me, that is the truth. And and he was getting frustrated because he couldn't get across to this person that how he views his life to him is his truth. And they said, well, are you being authentic? Yes, Bryce Courtney. He has such an awesome name. And he says, I am authentic. He says, I'm very true to me. I've always been me. He goes, I've always been very honest. I'm a writer. I write wonderful stories. He says, I've written 20 books in 21 years. And, and unfortunately the man passed away a few years ago. But he says, he goes, I've never ever lied. And people kept saying, well, you lie because how you describe your life is not how I see your life. And then that brought me to, hey, integrative healing is here. Hey, and I'm sorry if I'm missing all of your comments. They're just going by so fast. So I was thinking of one of my other favorite movies, Big Fish. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It's a fantastic movie. And I started thinking about the father in the movie, the father who is dying. And he's known for his wonderful stories. His favorite story is how he tells about how he got his wife to marry him. That's like his favorite story. And then he talks about the birth of his... well, he talks about the birth of his son and things like that. And so... yes, the dude is back there saying, I'm spoiling it for you guys, but whatever, watch the movie anyway. So I was thinking, because the son has a problem with how the father relays his life, and talks about his life. He's like, that's too fantastical. That's made up. Those things don't really exist. Like, I want to know the truth. Like, how was life really? Hey, Soren! And so the father, the way he saw his life, the way he saw the birth of his child, the way he saw how he got his wife to marry him, was through his own filter, like how he views the world. And he loved to view the world in a very magical, fantastical way. And so to the son, because it seemed like that wasn't his genre of seeing the world, he saw his father as a liar. And to his father, that was an insult, because he's like, I've never, ever lied. It was him telling a version of the truth, because we really all just have versions of the truth, really. um, and so the father ends up dying of cancer in the end. And, the son finally understands, that his father never really lied to him. He was always telling the truth, but it was through how he saw the world. And I just thought it was an interesting parallel with Bryce Courtney, because he also died from cancer. He died from stomach cancer. So then I was thinking, well, what about our stories, how we see our lives? And hey to everybody who's coming in, I'm sorry that it's going by so fast. Can't we maybe even change our perspective of our stories if we're unhappy with things, if we feel stuck in a rut? So that's why I call this New Journey, Old Paths. What if we could change the way we see the journey? All of a sudden the journey becomes new to us, yet it's the old path. It's the path that we've been on. And I don't think that we ever stray from our path. Our path's going to take us every which way. We're going to have lows, we're going to have highs, but to me it's the hero's journey. And I'm going to be pulling from the English teacher side of me, with the Odyssey and everything. And I'm going to help us find a more unique way of looking at our own journeys. Because what if we're, if you're a little bored right now with how things are going, or you're like, man, I wish, I wish things were different. Well, what if you could make things different? Everything around you is the same. It's just your mindset that changes, and that makes all the difference. And so that's what I want to help you guys with today. Let's see. October Sky says the Stoics believe that it's all up to us and how we decide to think about things. Definitely. All right. So with decks in hand, please bring out your decks if you haven't done so already. I am going to I'm going to use my Wally's World at the end, because I want that to be a very special card. So I'm just going to take out the cards from here, if you haven't seen my beautiful deck. And I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to take out some of the other cards here, because I might want them for different parts of the journey. And we are going to go on a little hero's journey. The hero is you. All right. And so, start thinking about, your life, how you see your life right now. I know that's like a lot to do right now at, so early in the morning, whether you're a part of the world or really late at night, wherever you are right now. And oh, yes, thank you. And let's start to loosen the term of that is the only way that we can see our life. Like, let's loosen that, I guess, that vision that, because if I talk to, and I don't know if I'm making much sense, if I talk to some of my friends, they see my life a lot differently than I see my life. And I am sometimes like, but, we're looking at the same thing. And we are, but remember, we are looking at it from different perspectives. So let's do a little change of perspective for our life, and let's see if that doesn't make a huge difference. You can feel free to do this, again later, because obviously this is like a deep dive. Hey, Queen Osset and Kayanat. So, okay. Let me show you what's in my notes. Okay. So I have my hero's journey, and for my students, I make it like a clock, that we start at 12 o'clock, which is kind of at the top, and then we're going to go around and around and around until we come back to the very beginning, which is the status quo. All right, so status quo, meaning where are we right now? And so remember, we're kind of allowing a different perspective to come in about our lives. So where are we right now? Like, just this is the beginning of the story. This is the exposition. This is the setting, background information, everything. So feel free to pull as many cards as you want for your status quo. We are going to retell the story of your life, which is the hero's journey. Like I said, this is a big thing. So if you want to go back and do this later on your own when you have more time, that's fine, you know, but if you want to just kind of like quickly go through it to get the hang of it right now today, then that's cool too. All right, so we're going to start with status quo, which is basically the exposition in a story. And you, well, this world is our story, the story of your life, you being the hero. Okay, so I'm going to use my Weird Cat Tarot. All right, so let me put my little bookmark. Ah, you like my little bookmark. I've had that since 1985 when I was 4 years old. Okay. Okay, so status quo. I'm again going to just loosen up how I see my life. I'm going to open myself to a different interpretation. There's something to be said for your constant aesthetic. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pull 2 cards for me. You guys pull as many cards as you want. Okay, right now I have the 10 of Pentacles and I have the 2 of Wands. And isn't that off to a cheery start already? Okay, so of course this reminds me of Wally and Loki, my 2 kittens, my panther and my puma. So already where I am now, again, I'm gonna look at life from a new set of eyes, so to speak. I'm gonna allow myself a new perspective, a new way of telling my own stories. So right now I have everything. You know, I have a roof over my head. It's a beautiful roof. It's a beautiful home. It's a home that, you know, I am half the owner on. The dude is the other half owner. You know, I have a truck that's all paid off. I have everything I could ever want. I have 2 adorable kittens. I have a really awesome dude. I have a job. I have money in the bank. I can pay my bills without worry. I have a pantry stocked full of food. I have, you know, I live on a pretty quiet street, so I don't have to worry about, you know, any any creepers creeping up and down my street. You know, I don't live in the hood anymore. So this is just saying, you know, your status quo, you've got everything, girl. You have everything. You know what? You know, you have everything already. And this 2 of Wands, there is so much that you could go seek and go do. You could do whatever you want, you know. So the status quo right now is you have everything at your disposal. And so I'm talking about me. So girl, I'm gonna start talking about myself in 3rd person. So Tara, you have everything you want. The character Tara, the hero in her journey, she has everything she wants. And if she wants to start a new adventure, she can do that. So you know what? Let's go on that adventure. We're gonna do that now. All right, so you guys pull your cards too, and feel free to post them in the comments, and you guys can comment on each other. But remember, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through this, so I may not catch all of your comments, and in that case, I do apologize. But I am so excited about all the people that are here. Okay, so I'm gonna put those up. That was my 12 o'clock. Okay, status quo. Next, 1 o'clock, call to adventure. All right. My call to adventure. Here we go. What has been the call to adventure in my life? Meaning the status quo has to change. Oh, Tara Apple got the King of Wands and the Page of Pence. Awesome. And start thinking about, you know, when you're interpreting these cards, how there's going to be a part of us that's like, nah, that's not my status quo. That's not my life right now. That like seems, wait, what? But remember, you're letting yourself be open to interpretation right now. Um, this one is the Weird Cat Tarot, V Love. All right, and that's my girl V over at V Love and Crystals. We've done a couple collabs together. We're gonna be doing another one in December. Okay, so what is my call to adventure right now? Or what has been my call to adventure? So this could be right now, or this could have already happened. All right, we have a little card coming out here. Okay, the call to adventure has been my creativity. Every time the muse has visited me in my dreams, the muses have come down, which actually they were doing that last night at 3 a.m. um, Avery got justice, no pressure. So, okay. All right, so my call to adventure has been all these ideas that have been coming to me of like, you've got to create this, you've got to create this, you have to go and do this. You can't just sit back in your beautiful home with your exotic pets and your totally hot boyfriend. All of that's well and good, but girl, you got to go on this adventure. You got to create some things for some people out there because they're in desperate need of the wonderful creativity that you have inside of you. It needs to burst forth like a rainbow unicorn. Okay. Let's see. Integrative healing got the 9 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. Interesting, interesting. V also got a call. Her call to adventure is creation as well. Oh, and Wally Wally Toe is down here. Wasima got the Ace of Wands. Excellent. Wally's having some turkey right now. Okay. Okay. So I know that I have all this, Tara has all this creativity inside of her, and she has all these ideas of things to do. But it might be a big task to do all by herself. So, 2 o'clock, she's gonna need some help. So, who comes in for assistance? These are the mentors. So, is there a mentor that she already knows? Is there a mentor coming in? She's gonna need some help. Okay, she's gonna need a mentor. Maybe this is the mentor Tara already knows. This is weird talking about myself in third person. But I think that, you know, try to do this. Try to talk about the character you in third person and see if that helps you a little bit with the interpretation of the cards. For me, it's helping me because I'm trying to detach. This is really hard. I'm trying to detach how I actually see my life, and I'm trying to be open to reading as if I was reading for somebody else. If that makes sense. You know how sometimes it's harder to read for yourself than it is for others? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to read for the other, but the other is me. So that's why I'm talking about myself in third person, just in case you're wondering. Okay, and I think it's helping. Okay, so Tara's looking for her mentor, or does she already have a mentor? Because doing all this creation on her own is going to be a little difficult. The Magician. Okay, so there is a mentor that's coming in for her that has been where she's been. So I'm feeling that this is an older person, and I think I already know who this is. So the mentor is you. So I'm thinking the mentor could be me, but it's also well, she's not just my acupuncturist. I call her my Chinese mom. So Dr. Wang. I believe that this is her, but we're pretty much on the same wavelength a lot of the time. So I think perhaps this is both of us then, because she's been where I am now. So she has that foresight. She has that, I'm kind of the future you. And she knows how to manifest anything that she's ever wanted. You know, she's kind of done all that she's ever wanted to do. So she has this, you know, with the third eye up here, she has the ability to put herself in my shoes and say, okay, younger self. This is what I would have done with my younger self. And she's doing that with me, with Tara, to help her with what she wants to accomplish and what she wants to create. So she's saying, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you could do in order to create real magic. So, and Tarot Oracle is here. Hey. Okay, so I like this. I'm pretty sure this is Dr. Wang. All right, got Dr. Wang in the house. I'll totally go back and watch this video later. Okay, so I know I have Tara now has her call to adventure. She has a mentor to help her along the way, and now she needs to depart. So the departure. This is, yes, hey, Dr. Wang. So now how does she leave for this journey? And well, am I actually going on a physical journey? Do I have to hop on a plane somewhere, or a train, or planes, trains, and automobiles? What does Tara need to do? Is it a state of mind, her departure? So what does she need to do? What's the departure look like for her? Aha, we have a card. It has popped out. The Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm getting for this, for Tara, again, right away, I started blocking certain information coming in because I'm like, oh, that's not me. And I'm like, no. We're reading for Tara right now. we're reading in third person right now. So the departure, before Tara departs on this journey of creation, one thing she needs to remind herself of is all the wonderful things that she has in this status quo. And she needs to remember that she is not lacking in anything. She has everything. Remember, everything is okay. Awesome relationship. Got a couple of kittens, gave birth to a couple of kittens. Sorry, I gave birth to one kitten, the other one's adopted, but anywho. She has a pretty charmed life. And for her not to keep this mindset would prevent her from departing on this journey. Because the story that she's telling herself right now is that she does not have the means to do so, that she would lose everything, that she would wind up poor somehow, back on this, back in the hood. She'd have to go back to the ghetto where she grew up, which is ridiculous. She's built quite the life for herself, and this is what she needs to keep in mind. She needs to keep in mind that she is the Queen of Pentacles, and she's going to keep that mindset as she departs on her journey, because this is the truth. Okay, we can do this. Okay, so she's going to keep that mindset. But everything isn't always going to be hunky-dory on the way. So 4 o'clock, she's gonna encounter some trials. She's gonna encounter some conflicts along the way, because not everything's smooth sailing, and you probably don't want it to be. I mean, if we're being honest, because without the trials and tribulations, we would have nothing to gain and nothing to learn, and we wouldn't know the positives from the negatives. If we never had the negatives, we would never know the positives, and vice versa. So the light from the dark, the good from the bad, that's what the trials are for, and that's what I have to keep telling myself, because it's the truth. Okay, so she's going to encounter some trials. What are some possible trials? So this would be, if you're doing a plot triangle in a story, which this is your story, this would be the rising action in the story, all the conflicts leading to the climax in the story. So the trials and tribulations. 4 o'clock, let's do 2 cards. I'm gonna do 2 cards. Ooh. She's met with a couple of things. She has the Ace of Cups and she has the Hierophant. So some trials and some conflicts that she's going to meet along the way. She's going to have to reevaluate the truth. Maybe by making a certain spread for a certain people during a certain hashtag New Beginning 2020. And On the Cusp says, this deck, I know, isn't this awesome? Um, okay, so yes, she's going to have to reevaluate what is truth. She's going to have to reevaluate the world around her. She's going to have to really expand and open her mind to how people say things are, and that's just how it's gonna be. You know, that's just how it is. People don't do this. You know, this is what you do. She's gonna have to reevaluate some things, and even some deep-seated thoughts, some, you know, in thoughts that were implanted there, you know, when she was a kid growing up. And that's just kind of been her, we'd say the program running in the back of the computer. You know, we don't necessarily know that program is running, but it is. So she's going to have to reevaluate those programs. Ooh, I feel like I'm talking about the Matrix. Am I? And here, the Ace of Cups, she's going to have a new relationship with herself. She's going to have to build new relationships with the people around her. She's going to have to see things differently. She's going to have to see, she's going to have to build new relationships with the word truth and what that means to her. So, whoa, those are some big trials that this girl is going to be encountering. All right, and then we carry on. Still moving forward, we're getting into, whoops. Ooh, the approach, 5 o'clock. So now she's starting to approach the climax of the story. So she's got past, you know, some of these trials. So now how is she going to approach this change in her life? There's going to be this big change now. It could be in perspective, it could be a physical change. I don't know, maybe I sprout butterfly wings, who knows? Okay, so let's go into the approach. 5 o'clock, approach. How's she gonna approach this? She's gonna approach this with strength. That's right. She is going to slay the monster. She is going to slay all of those non-truths. She's gonna take them all down, WWE style, or yeah, she's gonna take them down with a roundhouse. That's what she's gonna do. Roundhouse to the head. Actually, that's kind of cute. Ooh, Tar Apple got the Magician. Soren says, what an adorable deck it is. Slay them with her wisdom and gentleness. Yeah, oh, yes, with the flowers on the head. Slay them with kindness. Actually, that is one of my strengths. I do like to slay with my kindness. And you know where I learned that? In a dream when I was a kid, and I do remember that dream. Growing up in my old house, I was being chased by monsters in my dream, and at some point I stopped running in my dream, and I turned around and I faced all the monsters, and I gave them all hugs, and I told them all I loved them, and from that point on, I never had those dreams again. So anytime I have a nightmare, I stop running, I turn around, and I hug whatever is chasing me, and I tell them I love them, and they go away. So Tara is going to approach all of these trials with strength, and that talent that she has to basically kill her fears and kill all those who oppose her with kindness. Integrative Healing says, what a great kid you must have been. Oh, I don't know. My parents say I was up to no good, but my parents think everybody was up to no good. Anyway. Uh-oh. 6 o'clock. We have crisis. We're at the climax of our story, people. It's the crisis. It's the moment of truth. This is like the life-changing. Okay, so I've gone on this journey. I've been met with all these trials and tribulations, but I've got this awesome magician who's by my side. I know, right? And Teratam, the music behind playing. Yes, yes. and and now, and I've got this inner strength. How are we gonna what's the climax of the story? We're in the climax of the story. I don't know. I should probably change decks for the climax of the story. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do my Wally's World deck. I feel like this is a momentous occasion. Tara has reached the climax of her story. She is now in crisis. Oh my God, this girl's in crisis. She's like, show us more decks. Oh no, October skies can't look. I don't know. Okay, so she is in crisis. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening in the climax of the story? Danger, yes. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Okay. I don't know. Do I want to look? Oh! Says now we need a Loki tarot deck. We do. And I've already promised Loki I'll make him a deck. Wow. Okay. I don't mean to toot my own horn about my own deck, but I will. Okay. My own deck never ceases to amaze me. This is the card of transformation at the end of my deck. This is card number 64. And those people that have my deck can actually read. This is, go ahead, toot toot. Toot toot. I said in my guidebook that card number 64 translates to, I go into numerology, number 10, which comes out to the number 1, which is new beginning. And the reason I put my old cat Presley here is because number 1, he passed away, but I said his ending is now your beginning. And it's the journey home. I freaking wrote that in my deck, in my book, in my box. A healing journey is a journey home. Oh, wow. I didn't know I was going to get emotional during. I can't get emotional. I did my makeup today. Oh. Okay. So, pull it together, girl. In the climax of her story, in Tara's story, she found out. Oh, this is hard, you guys. Thank you. She found out that the only change she had to make was within herself, and she never really had to leave home because she was already home. Okay. 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 I got it. Ooh. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Wow, this is during a live chat where there's actually a lot of people on here and now they're watching me get emotional. This is awkward. Oh, thank you. So, okay. So Tara, yes. Going third person again. So yes, Tara found that at the climax of the story, she had never really left home. It was all a state of mind and a point of view that she was home already and that she had the strength all along. Avery said, I'm also having a ridiculously transformative reading and getting super emotional over here. That's why I'm not chatting. We all got each other. There we go. Woo! My heart chakra's hot, people. Ruby slippers. Yes. Okay. See, I knew I had to use this deck for the climax of the story. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Okay, so 7 o'clock. You know what? Let's change the deck for the treasure. 7 o'clock is treasure. Okay, so she realized that she was home all along. So it's the treasure. Does she get the treasure? What is the treasure? And I'm using the the Affirmator's Tarot. Okay, so what is the treasure? Does she get the treasure? Was there even a treasure? What is the treasure? The treasure is her finally figuring out how to put to rest all the demons in her mind. So it's all the fears, all the anxieties, all the worry. It was all up here in her head. And the treasure, after finding out that she never really left home because there was no need to, because home was here. Yeah, she finally got to put that all to rest. Yes, she's safe. She's home. She's relaxed. She can rest now. Four of Swords. I love this tiger. And by the way, my best friend Steph over at Journal de Femme Moderne et Spiritual Steph, her spirit animal is tigers. So that's, I don't know, I guess that's like a piece of my bestie in there too. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the Weird Cat Tarot for the rest of our adventure. So that's quite the gift that she receives at the very end, is being able to finally put her mind to rest, because that is something that is very difficult for her. Her being an air sign and having 90%, I would say, air in her astrology chart, that her mind is a constant chatter. There's a lot going on upstairs, which is good for creativity, bad for worry and anxieties and fears. But she's finally able to rein in that brain of hers, that all that electrical circulatory stuff that likes to go all haywire and crazy. She learns to take control of it. She learns to manage it and to harness its power. So therefore, that gives her peace of mind. She learns to rest. Okay, so 8 o'clock, what is the result? I like to knock my deck every now and then just to knock it silly. Okay, so, I'm guessing that was the result. Give me a second. Oh, this is appropriate. Okay. So, in the treasure, did she not just learn to have her brain take a rest? But as a result, those anxieties and fears, they disappeared. They're gone, all gone. Doesn't mean they don't creep in from time to time, but now she knows how to deal with them more effectively. She doesn't allow them to rule her brain anymore, because she realized she already knew how to take away her anxieties and fears. She just had to turn around and face them and give them a hug and tell them she loves them. And she forgot that she knew how to do that. Okay. My gosh, I didn't know my own spread was going to be so emotional. Okay. 9 o'clock, she makes her way back. She's going home, even though she was already home. She's returning. So what's the return home look like now? What does her return home look like? I'm gonna do a little shuffle again. There we go. It says, it is a powerful spread. I'm doing it, beginning a soul connection through it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Her return home is the 7 of Cups. Queen Osset got her approach the Queen of Pentacles, Climax, the Magician. That's awesome. So for her return home, she now has more choices and more opportunities than she ever thought possible. And all because she had to change what was going up here. She never really did have to leave the comfort of her own home. She went on a journey through her mind. And when she returned, She had a lot more peace, a lot more calm. She was reminded of the strength within her, and she was met now with more opportunity only because she never saw it before. All the opportunities were always there for her, but because of all the trials and tribulations she had put her mind through, she couldn't see them before, but now she can. Look at all those cute little kittens. um, and then Abundance Tarot said, I already have 8 majors. Very special. Yes, that is. Okay. 10 o'clock, new life. Because although everything around the hero has always been the same, everything's the same except for the hero. Physically, the hero is the same. You know, she's got the same purple hair wig. She's got the same crazy outfits. She's got the same weird personality. She still has her kittens. Everything's the same, but somehow the main character, the hero, is changed inside. The change is within, the transformation's within. So, what does her new life now look like? I'm gonna pull from this one, and then for the resolution, I'm gonna pull from my Wally's World once again. So, okay, what does her new life look like? I'm gonna pull 2 cards. What's the new life look like? That's card number 1. What does her new life look like? I love this. Okay, my card that's like always my stalker card is the Empress and the 7 of Wands. Okay, so her new life, how she is now changed. Well, she now knows that all these little problems, all these things that creep up on her from time to time, she can meet with love. She now knows that she had the ability to conquer all of that all along. So that is the change inside of her. She realizes the Empress that she is. She realizes the loving being that she is, and that she has so much love to give, especially to herself. And sometimes she forgets that. But now she knows how to deal with it because she's been reminded of it. And this is how she has changed as the hero of the story. Looking back, Avery got the 3 of Swords. Interesting. All right. Whew. Well, I would say that's a fantastic new life. That's a great change. All right, so I said that I would pull from Wally's World for the final card, and that's because we are now at 11 o'clock going to the resolution of the story. So this is where our story ends. If you were in a plot triangle, you'd have all the loose ends are now tied up, all the unanswered questions. Everything is buttoned up, so to speak. We now have our resolution. From the resolution, we go back to the status quo. Because you know, the hero's journey is never over. We go on multiple journeys throughout our lives, sometimes hundreds of journeys, and we are always changed at the end of those journeys. And always for the better. We're always a little wiser, a little stronger, a little happier, and a little more powerful. So just remember that this is just one of many journeys that you guys will go on, and that I will go on, and that we've already been on. So what is the resolution before we head back to status quo? So the resolution of the story, oh, Gemma got the stars. Resolution of the story, this is in Hawaii. And this particular photograph was taken by my stepmom when her and my father went on vacation. And she loved being able to just kind of look out and look at the wonderful expanse of water and all the green and the islands and all of that. So in the resolution, she has gained a new perspective, a new way of removing herself from being caught in the waves and being able to look at them from a magnificent overlook, and she can appreciate the waves for what they are instead of being drowned by them. I think that's a great resolution to the story. Oh, LD got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That's awesome. Avery said, this one has gone so deep. I think I'm going to have to skip to the next video and watch the replay because I need to emotionally process this reading. Yes, like I told you guys that this is a really big reading. You know, obviously we only have an hour here together. And Wasima got the Father of Stones. No problem, Juvity. You know, so definitely, you know, what's wonderful about all these lives is that they'll be uploaded to YouTube and you guys can go back and rewatch them at your leisure. You know, definitely take some time because this hero's journey, it's a big journey, you know. I mean, think of the Odyssey. How big are those books, right? You know, so the hero's journey is a large one. So definitely take your time with it. I know that we just kind of flipped through here. You know, not pausing too much along the way because I kind of wanted to keep moving forward. But, you know, definitely take your time. I would say even journal a lot of this, you know, because sometimes we do readings for ourselves and then we forget a lot of what we found out. Oh, and Wally's back. Okay, so let me look at what some of you guys were saying. All right, Queen Osset got, for the treasure, the King of Pentacles, and for the results, the Devil. Interesting. Avery said, I do love that some of us got a bunch of majors since this is a hero's journey and the made a fool's journey. So that's interesting. And Maya is here as well. On the cusp about the Queen of Cups. Yay. So I'm so glad that you guys, you know, were able to get a lot out of this. Like I said, definitely journal, you know, but take your time. The hero's journey is a big journey. Oh, and then Wasim says she's going to be putting a picture of the spread on her her Facebook page. So that's awesome. And Abundance Tarot got the Hierophant for the resolution. That's excellent. Hey, Maya. Tara Apple said 6 majors in her in the spread. October Skies is loving it, and Tara Apple loves it too. I'm so glad. So I'm hoping, you know, definitely, you know, take some time. So what was interesting, you know, when Wasima approached me for, you know, being a part of this wonderful event with these 24 awesome channels, you know, I was like, what am I gonna do? You know, what am I gonna do? And usually I always allow my intuition to guide me in what are people going to need most. And for the return, Queen Osset got Death and the 10 of Cups. That's awesome. Oh, Maya, you tell your brother and your sister that they are awesome as well. And you too. And actually, Maya, this hero's journey, when you get to high school, you guys are going to be reading the Odyssey and you're going to be learning about the hero's journey, but you might as well learn about it now because you are in a journey yourself. So, yeah, so when Wasima asked me, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And the words new journey, old path came to my mind, and yet I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I, you know, it sounds really awesome, but I don't know what that means. What am I supposed to do? And then, you know, a couple of days pass, and all of a sudden, that's when I really start looking at what it is that I'm teaching my students, and I'm like, wait a minute, I could apply that to our life. Isn't that a way of starting a new journey, yet it being on the old path? Oh, I'm telling you to watch dinosaurs. And then, you know, of course, then I'm watching the interviews with Bryce Courtney and I'm making all these connections to the movie Big Fish. And then all of a sudden it's like brain explosion. Oh my gosh, I know what I'm supposed to talk about, you know, for my live chat. And so, yeah, so I put this together. So I don't know if you guys want to screenshot this or not, but these are the notes that I wrote. And maybe also in the Facebook group, I will take a picture of this as well for you guys. So sorry, I was just holding it up in case you wanted to screenshot. So But yeah, so anyway, it looks like up next in about 6 minutes. Wow, it's me. um, we have Meadowlark Mystic. And so Meadowlark is going to be doing the Tower and the Ten of Cups, holding loss and joy. So that sounds, it's going to be really, really interesting as well. We still have quite a few channels to go. So I don't know if some of you guys are like the diehards and you're watching all of them. So Maya, you have a great day. But we have Ozark Oracle after that, Kuptilu Art and Tarot, On the Cusp Tarot, woo! And woo to everybody! And we have Moon Coach Sylvia Pancaro and Julia Victoria Through the Peacock's Eyes, Tom Benjamin, Sanskrit Blue Tarot, Ethany. Then we have Ouroboros, Integrative Healing with Sadhana, and Lady Knight of Avalon is going to be some of our bonus videos, and the Tarot Alchemist as well. So, all right, so let me jump back over to you guys. All right, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend or Monday, I guess, depending on where you are. And if you live in the United States, I hope that you have an awesome Thanksgiving this coming Thursday, whether you're spending it with your family through birth or the family that you have created for yourself, with your fur babies, your feathery babies, scaly babies, and all of those that you love. And then wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having an awesome time getting ready for the holiday season. And yeah, again, I'd like to thank the muses for helping to bring this idea to me, so that I could share it with you guys. And I also want to thank Wasima for allowing me to be a part of this spectacular event. So I'm wishing you all lots of love, lots of awesome sauce love, and I wish you all well. God and Goddess speed on your journeys. And yeah, I will catch you guys in some later videos, and I'll be back to my regular live chat Saturday of next week. All right, so I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye guys, to all the heroes.